Hi, I'm Elaine Clayton, and this is the stream drawing of the week for June 21st, 2022. Stream drawing is a creative meditation method that I developed, but it's not new really, because when you were very young, you did draw this way with total freedom, probably on the walls and things like that. And it's really good for us to make our mark symbolically, but also really to just enjoy drawing. So stream drawing is done with the non-dominant hand with eyes closed so that you're really loose, and then to gaze at the drawing and understand intuitive messages in the personality of the lines and the shapes and the forms. So you can learn more about that in my book, The Way of the Empath: How Compassion, Empathy, and Intuition Can Heal Your World. And also Making Marks, Discover the Art of Intuitive Drawing. Both of those books have this method and some other intuitive drawing methods. So the messages that I'm getting is, this is just general, a lot of stuff in dreams is, we have archetypal symbolic things that most of us can relate to. And my prayer was for us to get a message for this week. So hopefully it resonates for you. If it doesn't, it's okay. You can try your own stream drawing and see what comes up. So I usually start right in the center, and I see here a number 6. So you might think to yourself, what does number 6 signify for you? It might be someone's birthday. It might be a number that reminds you of something or someone. For me, the shape of number 6 and the personality in it over time, since I was a little kid, really kind of speaks to responsibility, but also social interactions. So sometimes we have social interactions that they sort of feel fun at first, and then they feel like maybe not so great for us. So what I would say is, this is prominent here, so I would say it's really important this week to have a conversation with yourself about, who do you feel really good around socially, and what are some things, that you need to just not do. Some things might be toxic, some situations. So you don't have to judge people, but you can judge situations, and maybe sometimes the energy isn't optimal for you, doesn't feel good, you'll know. This is one of the other things we go into in the way of the empath, is how do you feel when you enter a room? What do you feel when you are around people? If it's at work, you have to be at work, so you're going to process that and find ways to endure it and all that, or to overcome it is maybe a better word. But a lot of situations are social, and we don't have to be there, so think about what is positive and do what is best in a positive way. And also, we can think to ourselves, because this reading is for me as well, how can I be more positive in my own social interactions? How can I just be a kind person? Even if I have to draw a boundary and all that, kindness matters. This is important. Also, if you look here, I see a figure pointing to the past. Okay, this is, a person here. This is how I saw it, and it's like a scuffle or a struggle almost. It almost felt like this person's guardian angel, because this kind of has a wing look, urging the person, come to the future, look forward. Why are you pointing to the past? The past is gone. And it is very hard for us to overcome things in the past because they had such an impact on us. And we do learn from the past, so there's no judgment here, but this is attached to what looks like a writing quill, and it's also a figure 8. So when I see a figure 8, I think of the infinity symbol. It signifies soul purpose. So it's almost as if this angelic message is, just pretend with me, this is an angel, this is how I intuit it. So go there with me. We're in a daydream here. This angel is saying, you know what? Don't focus on the past. This person even has a third eye at their crown. That's their intuitive spiritual knowing. Inwardly, we know the past is over and that it doesn't serve us to be upset about it. to learn from it, but then move on. And this angel seems to say one way out of this turmoil where we look at the past so much is to write your intentions, write your feelings down. You can write down, this happened and that happened, and go ahead and get the feelings out and retell the story as much as you want to. But so it's not denying the wrongs or the pain or whatever, but it's getting a bird's eye view, which this shows up here in the reading too a little bit later. Getting a bird's eye view, observe the self looking at the past scenes as though they are past, they're no longer real, and their impact was real, but we get to do what we want to with that impact now. And in the creative forces, all we have is now. That's sort of the beauty of it. We don't think so. We think we're defined by whatever the third grade teacher said we were, or the parent, or whoever, past, romance person. But actually you can activate by writing down things you love. Write down your ideals, what your intentions are, what you would love to experience in life, and just get out of the past dynamic. Sometimes we can't help it. This is almost like a figure dreaming. It's almost like a person laying down. So keep a dream journal. If a dream keeps repeating that involves feelings of the past, or even scenarios and people and situations, then, you're maybe still learning from something. I mean, I have that happen often, and so I will just dream journal and try to create out of it. Again, when you do something creative, something fun that you love to do about anything, especially something painful of the past, you become empowered because you are doing something new that reaffirms that you are alive and you're a creator and you have self-agency. So I would really do this. Urge yourself going forward. So when we look in the forward position, this is kind of interesting. It's like some kind of cat, it's like even got the ears and the paw. So cat is fun because cats are mysterious and intuitive too, aren't they? It seems like they see the energy. My Cherokee mentor told me they can see our energy, and they act skittish and things. But you may have your own meanings for what cat means. Meanwhile, here's a number 6 again. It's a little different in its determination. It has a determined look compared to this one. This one's sort of a soft number 6. This one says, hey, yeah, look at how it feels to draw that one. Try drawing this number 6 compared to that one. It feels like I have to assert myself. And the whole universe, and some mysterious cat here, seems to say, build momentum. It's like a ramp. It's like Evel Knievel, fly off the ramp. Once we have our determination about what we want to realize or actualize, and we get focused, then momentum does build, and good things can happen, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way. But getting, around positivity again, and using all the positive emotions and thoughts to go forward is really great. So remember, social interactions that are positive, and having some focus and self-determination. Even within the mystery and I guess flexibility, and you can make a list of cat attributes that might go with how to do this. That's what I'm going to do after this. These meditations, by the way, take a very long time. So when I do an intuitive reading for someone, I really spend a long time before the reading even starts just deciphering all the intuitive stream drawing imagery. So they keep giving like a dream does. You can keep exploring. I also couldn't help but see this as an airplane. And I'm thinking about, it's so different now. It sounds like there's distress at the airports this week. Last week, flights are canceled and all that. But this is how I see it, a future position, although the plane is facing the past. It's almost as if to say the adventures that await us come to meet us. So we are met halfway by angels that urge us to feel positive emotion and feel love and feel creative ingenuity, where they know before we are able to see it sometimes what great fortunes and adventures lay ahead. All of these images can be literal and symbolic and other things. So I could say that we could have possible future, better days with air flights and travel and all that. And it could also just mean, when you think of your future, see the advantages that will come your way, the adventure and the journeys that you'll be on, and know that benevolent forces meet you more than halfway while you're getting your momentum to go forward in the best way that you can. Now, if we go into a past position, this is kind of fun. This looked like a stick figure, like leaning over, and it made me realize, we can't help it about the past. In a way, it doesn't exist anymore, right? Everything gets recorded in a spiritual way, like as if God has this great book and every thought, word, and action gets recorded on one hand. On the other hand, it's also possible that you could change the past. It doesn't really exist, so our perception of it can change. And so this stick figure of the past sort of has, the handle on the life as it played out. It's like a reminder that whatever we chose and did in the past did have a huge impact on the journey we took, as another airplane sort of figure, and on the way in which we perceive who we are right now. So that reminds me to think about my actions and thoughts and feelings now, so that I understand that the way I set myself up for tomorrow does begin with how I choose to be in the moment. So in the past, I had power to set my energy up, and did I do it in the way that I can reflect and decide, did I set myself up well? What can I learn from it? Again, the past is only really to serve us, to help us learn. This figure too is sort of pointing to a past event or energetic dynamic that we went through. So, reflect, but then understand that it's still very important after reflecting on the past to turn and make a stride forward so that you can experience some of the things you'd most like to experience. And now I'm turning this. Generally, this is seen as top to bottom, the chakra chart, the energy centers of the body. So if I do an intuitive reading for you, then that's how I'm looking at this. This is a general reading, so this will have general messages. But maybe they will pertain to you in some way. And again, look, we have the number 6 again at the crown and third eye. So that's reaffirming the importance of setting up positive thoughts, positive emotions, positive visions for the future, for social interactions especially. And I couldn't help but see that's still that cute cat, It's like being whispered to. I think, again, imagine that you had a spirit animal. What if a spirit cat was with you this week? What if God sent you an angel that it was like it had the attributes of a cat? What gifts would it give you? Cats really don't stay where they don't feel good. They get out of there. So there's a lot of stuff to consider about that. There are a lot of number 5s in this drawing as we go down. They're all throughout here. For me, and you can explore what number 5 and number 6 might mean to you personally, but for me, number 5 signifies change, shifts. Sometimes it's change that comes because we're very uncomfortable and we really want change. And sometimes it's agonizing because change doesn't come fast enough. Other times, something happens, boom, we got to change. There are people that flee every week. There's a flood or a fire or a tornado or something. And people are comfortable and all of a sudden they have no home. So this is going on all over the world. Worse, we have wars too. So if you think about this from your crown to your heart, really through your throat, how you express yourself, and into your heart, what changes would you want? What changes are you dealing with? If you're dealing with change or with something uncomfortable, which, I am usually, there's always something. Here I see 2 spirit guides. So again, understand that you've got angels with you. This angel was present before, showing us how to right our way into, or create our way into a future that we'd most like to experience. So writing the list of everything I love, what matters to me in the world, what values I really have, because how else would I want to live except based on those things that I love? And so these two angels are with you as you move forward through some change. There may be some change that you have to deal with, but you're not alone. You're really not alone. They're very creative, interesting kind of spirit guides here. Going down a little bit further at the root here, and I'm generalizing because this is already very long recording, but there's so much more to see here. But just in general, this reminded me of on ships, the figurehead on the ships. They're so cool. They're usually female and they're wooden and they're beautiful, and that's what this reminded me of. But it's facing the past. So I want to say, our ancestors on their journeys are part of what we're made of, their knowledge, their cell memory, their themes in life. They have made a big impression on us, especially from our sacral to the root, because our very first primal years were all about absorbing what the adults were doing, how we were being raised, and those really severely important impressions made on us. Those things are really in there. And so this teardrop with it makes me think of cleansing, prayers for cleansing. Pray for your ancestors, your parents, your grandparents, everyone who came before you, because guess what? We inherited their themes. They had them just similar to our own. We might change them up a bit, but we still carry them to a degree. So that's there. That's something for you spiritually and sacrally. Wait a minute, not sacrally, sacrally, but sacredly, to honor and to embody, or to understand that we do embody it, and then to do something creative and positive with it, because there again you have the number 6. So even socializing in families, family structures, that can be so fraught these days. Everyone's so divided. But it's part of our soul purpose right here. And you can see this also looks a little bit like an hourglass, so the sands of time. We don't have a lot of time. We have some time here on earth. So from your sacral to your root, be as creative as you can with your time. Again, focusing. This is like an archery bow. There's no arrow here, but you have the arrow. So you get your arrow and focus on what you want to experience, and be creative as best you can. I'm telling you this as though I'm advising, but I'm telling this to myself. This is all, this drawing came through my own meditation, so it's not like I'm preaching. I'm talking to myself as well. This image was really interesting. It's almost like a fetal image. And then there's a number 4. And the 4 actually almost looks like hooks. It also is partially a number 5. I think of number 4 as security. Fetal, again, would be at our root, being information, being beginning, life. We are life. There is no other you. Somehow you came into being and you were born, and you have a lot of love to give, and you have the gift of yourself to give. There is no other you, never was, never will be. So the miracle that you are, and as you form anew every day at your root, you still are brand new. You will be going through lots of changes. Look at that 5. That's kind of a fancy 5. It goes it's got some loop in it. And then you've got the 4. And I don't really know what I feel about those hooks there, except that maybe even when we were younger, we knew how to grasp for what we wanted. I mean, it's part of a primal instinct to do that, to survive. So some of what's going on today may take us right down to our most basic: why am I alive? Why am I here? Why was I born? What can I do about it? For security and for these changing times, whether they're in the macrocosm, the big shifts that everyone is experiencing globally, or the personal ones. And now we go to another view. Let's see if I can prop this up. It's kind of hard with the Let me see if there's anything I really want to point out here that I haven't gone over. Yeah, I mean, there's a flame of passion. This is when I see a flame image, it's like having a sense of our own passion, because, we don't really want to spend our time. Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do. Sometimes education or a job that we just have to do. That's good for us to learn endurance, but often the point of it would be to get to be able to do what we feel we were born to do. So that's a main message here. And I'm going to turn this for the last view. And I feel like this is like a prayer image. I say prayers. I pray all day. I'm not telling you to, but whatever would be a prayer for you, adjusting things here. Whatever would best help you bless your past, bless everyone in it, and be able to do the things you would most like to do. Again, that's a big message in this reading. Put holy words on it in your own way, so that past is a blessing. And then I saw a parent with a child, like nurturing a baby, nurturing someone, a little young one on the lap. This whole person's sitting down. It's kind of fun because it looks like a cowboy hat, sort of being rough and ready, or being able to, I don't know, my ancestors were pioneers and they had to make a home out of dirt and things like that, like really extreme things. And I'm not advocating for what happened, pushing tribes away and all that. That's loaded. So that's loaded. I can meditate on that a lot. But I think if we look at the archetypal meaning of cowboy or pioneer, it would be, being able to just go where you've never gone before and figure it out somehow. And again, how would we do that without hurting other people? So that has to be part of the definition of the cowboy, because I have to own, in my own personal life, I have to own what that meant for others. So that's a good one. But thinking, and it may not be a cowboy hat, it might be something else. It might be like a person from the 1800s. Anyway, there's the main thing is nurturing a younger self, if we look at it symbolically. The baby in me, like at the sacral, or, the baby, the me that I'm not fully realized yet, the part that I want to develop. And it can mean actually taking care of children or other people who need nurturing. And that can be the most beautiful thing ever in the whole world. And it's also strenuous. This person, if they're taking care of a baby, they can't just go do whatever they want to do. They have to, they have to be kind of careful because someone else is in their charge. So you can't just be totally selfish. So if we look at this symbolically and not literally, I might say in my solar chakra, because that's where it's located, a part of me now needs to not be selfish concerning the part of me in my sacral that is creative, that is under development. So what does that mean? It might mean I actually need to talk to the part of me that wants to feel safe in the world and harmonized in the world, needs to nurture my creative self, needs to spend time actually attending to the thing in me that is undeveloped as of yet, that needs nurturing, that depends on the other parts of myself to get it going. In other words, if there's a job that you always wanted to do, but you had to be practical, and so you did that other job that you didn't really want to do, but it was a practical choice, now is the time to listen to that younger you that isn't developed, that says, pay attention to me. In the sacral chakra, whatever is creative is what wants attention. And again, this is a number 6, so it's about positive energy. So a part of you won't even feel harmonized until you start focusing on the part of you that wants to be creative. And let's see, I think there was a number 5 again. So expect some big shifts this week. This is your intuitive stream drawing meditation that I offer you for the week, but you can do your own. You can do your own, and you can get personal readings from me if you go to ElaineClayton.com. You can reach me there. And I do these in honor of other people. But you can do your own intuitive stream drawing meditation. It's so fun and easy and full of richness. It's a creative way to meditate. It's just another way. But again, it's really not new to you because you have at one point in life did draw this way. And you can learn more about this in my new book, The Way of the Empath, How Compassion, Empathy, and Intuition Can Heal Your World. So go out there, make it a beautiful week, get that bird's eye view, and be in positive situations. And this is Elaine Clayton, ElaineClayton.com.